Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we get started, before we hop on these charts, as always, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Lights Out with Futures code RDF and others. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Important for me to be transparent about that, for you to do your own research and make your own decisions. Let's go ahead and hop onto these charts. Get some good mornings in before NYSE open. Let me just go ahead and get this loaded up. We are here on, let's get it. We are here on, there we go. We are here on the 15-minute chart on TradingView on YM. Taking a look at what the market's got for us on this beautiful March 16th, Monday, March 16th. Let me go ahead and take a look at some news with you guys, and then we'll get some good mornings in. We're pretty clear on news, just to go through that real quick. Market's going to open up here in a few minutes. We'll talk about what we're looking at into this open. See what we can do on this top one futures 15K live account. Monday, March 6th, we're pretty clear. Nothing too crazy. We got through Empire State Manufacturing Index today. And outside of that, we are looking pretty clear. Chat, good morning, guys. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? Good morning, good morning. Paul, Chris, Miss K, what's happening? Let's see. RW, shocking stories. You guys and your crazy names. Big Frank, what's up? What's going on, guys and girls on Kick? What's going on, guys and girls on YouTube? What's up, X? Because, you know, we're streaming all over the place. Kobe Clark on Kick. What's up, man? What's happening? Zero DeWiz, A-Deal King, Maritime Trades, ASFX. We got everybody on today. SM Hunter, Neural, Annie Keck, FX4. I'm sorry, guys. I can't get them all. Adam, yep. Alan, what's up? Frandy, what's up? Tim, what's up? Everybody else, what's up? Miguel Carrera, Alan, what's happening? Buddy17, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. If you're new here, welcome, man. I got crazy growth going over on IG. Absolutely exploded. Really grateful that it went that way, but pretty crazy to try to hold on to that momentum with IG just absolutely exploding, man. Super grateful. If you're new, welcome. We're here trading live almost every damn day, 100% free. We do have a special guest coming up a little bit later today. Let me just go ahead as the market's getting ready to open up here, guys. I'm not looking to do anything too crazy right off the rip, but let me just go ahead and make sure I have this set up for who we're going to have coming on stream in just a few, man. We're going to have Clay B. Hodges, none other than Top One Futures, Top One Trader, founder, on stream today. Super psyched. If you guys are not remembering how we went the last couple of times we had Clay on, it's been fun, man. He usually pulls up with some fun stuff. And outside of, maybe some giveaways at discounts, he is answering questions, man. Loves to answer questions, loves to talk to you guys, give you insider info as far as what's going on in the futures prop trading space. What they've been working on, what's going good, what's going bad, and take your feedback. It's really awesome, man. So anyway, hang tight just for a second, guys. I want to make sure he has the link and everything, so we are ready to go. Watch the market open up here. We'll talk markets here in just a second. That looks pretty good. Boom. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna be every once in a while today for sure. I'm gonna be looking down, trying to make sure that we facilitate everything to the best of our abilities, make it an awesome show. You guys know it. But let's take a look at this for a second here. As we're starting to open up above VWAP. Sorry, guys. Let me just make sure. I think this looks good. I think we are good. Let me know if you guys can see and hear me clearly. If not, I'll adjust. But we're on the other streaming platform, which we love to be on. StreamYard, our boys over at StreamYard. Shout out StreamYard. Not restream through OBS. All right. Yeah, I'll check on that in a minute. All right, guys, let's talk markets here before we have some fun, before we get Clay on the show. We have YM opened up on the 15-minute chart. This is my bread and butter, right? This is really the thing that's paid me most. Pretty boring, pretty slow, no crazy scalping, pretty low frequency of trading. Nothing too crazy on here, but I keep racking up payouts in the same top one live account. I took my 20th payout from the same prop firm live account on Friday of last week. Got moved into this account in October of last year, and I know I've been repeating that a lot, but I got to try to tell you when things have gone well for me. I certainly tell you when things go not well for me. You guys see that play out, live. But I've been excited to be able to display that kind of consistency in this account, man. I'm certainly getting more aggressive in some sim accounts like we do, maybe late into NYSE session, late into this open on NQ. But this has been really sweet. So let's talk about this, man. Opening up with a fresh week here. Monday, March 16th, higher time frame view. What the hell are we doing here, guys? This does not look like an uptrend, right? So over the last few weeks, right, I'd say mid-February. This is mid-February? Mid-February, yep, February 12th. We came off the highs, right? Came off all-time highs here in YM and the other U.S. indices. We've really been selling off. We've pushed to the downside, right? We put this gnarly wick in here, and we bounced back on the 9th. And then we sold off last week. We're opening up this week. We cracked to the downside. We got like an almost no wick daily candle here. Is this completely no wick? Ooh, it is. Wow. We have a wickless daily candle. Very uncommon. Very uncommon. Wickless daily candle forming bullish, right? Starting to push back up. Now, if we zoom way out, we know what the U.S. indices have been doing over, the past few years. Strong trend to the upside. Even after this, tariff craziness, really strong trend. This is, objectively the largest pullback that we've seen in this uptrend, right? Outside of, back here, March and April of 2025 of last year. So zooming in a little bit more, right? We're so, really, really higher time frame trend up, right? Moderate, week over week trending to the downside, pushing lower, albeit very choppy back and forth within here. This was very, very choppy back and forth. This is a little bit more trendy to the downside. Day over day for NYSE session, I would still classify this as very choppy. You can see what that looks like right in here, right? We're not just moving lower in a straight line. We're certainly pushing back up before coming back down. If we take a look at what we've got as of recent here, and then maybe mark up some zones. Let's take a look at my discretionary levels. I really have not touched this chart. It's just not needed a lot of markup at all. Taking a look really, really zoomed out on like the hourly here. Yeah, I'm going to leave this as is. I'm interested up here. Yeah, I'm interested up here as we come a little bit higher as well outside of this zone. But let's drop down. All right, let's look at the 15-minute. Let's look at Friday's price action and structure, where we're at, right? We've traded pretty much through all of it. We do have, we broke Friday's low here, right, with that wickless daily candle. Opened up, we gapped down and then immediately closed it, right? That's kind of what this looks like. Opened up with the gap down at session changeover. Popped to the upside. Overnight, Asia-London session, we traded through Friday's volume point of control all the way up to Friday's value area high that we're sitting at right now. Somewhat of a bullish movement here, right? Not insane, but somewhat bullish, right? We came back down through VWAP, and now we pushed to the highs. We're opening up pretty high in today's candle, right? Pushing the upside. I would have liked to see this crack if I was going to do anything really aggressively. I would like to see this crack maybe prior day's high and look for another really aggressive short. Beautiful short play in here on Friday for a quick move back down. That paid me very quick and nicely on Prop Firm Match TV, trading live with you guys. Damn near top tick the market. Doesn't always happen, but it's nice when it does. Today, what am I looking at here, guys? Mean reversion style play, right? If we had done this, which we are not already doing, right? So kind of like if we started to do this, crack to the upside, I'm going to look to fade that back down, right? Right back down towards VWAP. Kind of like what we did here with to fade that back down. That's my play. If we sold off somewhat aggressively, maybe below this like London, Asia-London movement. This is really low, right? But maybe within here, I'd be interested in a buy. Somewhat of a muted open here. We really didn't move at all for NYSE. Let's take a look at what ES and NQ are doing real quick. Kind of similar structure here, right? Opened up, gap down, popped to the upside, held VWAP above for Asia and London. Let's take a look at NQ. Similar structure, even more bullish action out of NQ right now. Going to keep it on YM on the 15-minute here, guys. If you have any questions, trade-wise, chart setup-wise, prop firm-wise, please feel free to throw them in chat. Again, we will have Clay, founder, Top One Trader, Top One Futures, on the show today. If you guys have questions about Top One Futures, about prop firms, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I did throw subscriber mode on and slow mode to 60 seconds so we can kind of keep it cool and calm in here. If you got something to say, please throw it in the chat, and we'll try to get to you. Obviously, won't be able to answer everybody. If you are not in the Discord, just in case, I try to keep everybody all around everywhere that you want to be. It's free 99. I'm going to throw this in the chat. Feel free to hop in the 100% free trading Discord if you want to stay up on everything, just in case you have any kind of issue. I'm happy to talk to you. We'll throw that in there. So, waiting patiently off this open. Nothing too crazy right off the bat. Like I said, I would have liked that mean reversion style trade. If we pop to the upside, to fade that back down. If we cracked lower, maybe to buy into that strength to push that back up to the upside. But let's see what we get here. Kind of turn it back down towards VWAP right now. Again, I'm going to be checking to make sure I can bring my special guest on when he's ready. Taking a look at Bookmap over above. Can't see this one off the top of the screen today. Nothing too crazy. This is kind of a muted open. Looks like we want to fall right back down towards VWAP. Certainly not enough for me to jump in on like a sweep of this pre-market high right here. That's way too aggressive for me. Definitely not my play on something like that. So today, Monday, as I like to do, stay patient, man. No, nothing to do. Don't do anything too crazy, man. Market's just opening up. 9:38 a.m. We got a fresh week, man. Let's stay calm. Let's stay cool here. See what we could do. Let's see what we can do. Take a look at what we got going on news here in just a minute as well. Did the initial news, but I want to do the around the horn type deal. Trying to make sure I got everything kosher on this dang stream. Are we Gucci? Are we Gucci, chat? Gucci like Stanley Tucci? I think so. Let's take a look at Financial Juice real quick together. I'll pull this one up on screen. I said I might start doing Squawk from Financial Juice, like real-time news. I don't know that I want to mess myself up with that too much. But I do want to look at Financial Juice because Forex Factory's been like a little bit like, kind of not marking things as high impact as they might be. But nothing too crazy here for the rest of the day. 9:15 we had a little bit showing. 10 a.m. they have this marked as orange folder. I don't think that's going to be too crazy. Let's take a look at Forex Factory just for the rest of the week. Again, guys, these are just news sites. I'm not partnered or affiliated with these guys, just regular financial news sites. So again, nothing crazy really today or tomorrow. Pending new home sales, like that could be decently impact at 10 a.m. tomorrow, March 17th on Tuesday. Wednesday, we got some news, right? We got some info. We got FOMC. All right, that's the big news day. We could definitely see some slow-moving markets leading into that. I don't think that would be, completely unheard of to just see some consolidation, some chop coming into that coming into that FOMC, coming into FOMC on Wednesday, 2 p.m. So, that's important to note. I might not try to do anything too crazy. A lot of traders really go hands off for FOMC. Until, afterwards, right? Maybe market makes a decision, starts moving. Unemployment, 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. That's a big one. And then we're clear on Friday. So nothing too crazy, but we got a couple things on the board to make sure we're watching this week. Not much out of YM. Really not much out of YM here, man. Trying to make sure stream is ready to go. I know I keep repeating that, but let's see. Chatty McChat. Nothing really for me to do trade-wise, man. I'm hanging tight. I don't like this as much if we crack to the upside for this mean reversion style trade that you guys watch me take day over day. It's just not really clean. I would have loved to see us drive higher right into the open, into this NYSE open, but we're starting to pop to the upside right now. I could be interested if we crack yesterday's high, right? I'd be interested up into, we'll draw some lines on the chart. Could be interested up into these 180s, 190s, right? 47,200s even for a little mean reversion trade back down. I would have preferred us to just get right there rather than do this and then pop up. But we'll see. We'll see what market's got for us. See what you guys got going on. Chat, how we doing, guys? Morning, gang. Mike Z, what's up? Vanna, what's up? Zach, what happens to Trade-Evade on the rollover? You have to manually change on Trade-Evade. You have to manually change on Trade-Evade. So I'm over here on TradingView on the continuous contract, which I don't have to be, but it makes it really easy if you're a dumb guy like me to just not even have to worry about it. But you do have to manually change to the correct contract. Let's take a look at what we got going on. We at roll right now. That's something I should be talking about as well. Thanks for waking me up, guys. Let's do volume and open interest. Let's look at CME. Are we rolling right now, guys? Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Yeah, we are coming into rollover right now. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Sorry, guys. Should be awake for that one for sure. We are rolling. We have the rollover date for the U.S. indexes from the CME site marked as tomorrow, this 17th. Current contract front month right now is set to expire on the 21st. So we are coming into rollover. Let's take a look at volume and open interest. And I think we are still on. I don't think that we've rolled yet. But let's go to the chart so we don't have to guess. Now we're still in the market. Looks to me from what I could see. Is this when's the last time this updated? Last updated. Oh no, this is like, so I usually go to the site. Here's what I usually do, guys. First off, we're talking about rollover, right? Rollover in the futures contracts with trading futures. You have to be on the correct contract, right? The front month contract ahead of it expiring, right? During rollover, volume drops off on the current contract that everybody's trading, picks up on the new contract. Usually it's pretty clean, but it can get a little bit funky. Certainly volume and even order flow can start to look a little bit weird as, for lack of a better term, as volume and trading starts to shift. But to me, this still looks like we're on the H6 contract still, right? This to me still looks like we are on the correct contract. For Project X, for TradingView, you could trade the continuous contract right over here, right? This is the continuous contract, NQ1 exclamation point, ES1 exclamation point, where it is exactly like it states. It's the continuous contract. It's not the individual contract. If you're on Trade-Evade, you do have to be on the correct contract to physically swap over. I think they give you a warning because Trade-Evade prop, at least the last couple of times I've opened it up and maybe logged in after not logging in for a while, they give you a warning and essentially say like, hey, you're not on the right contract, right? Like, do you want to change over to the correct contract? Something along those lines. What you could do is, as I'm checking this, you could go to CME site. You could just Google NQ volume and open interest, and you can get the volume and open interest from the CME site. You can watch it start to change over, right? And the contract that has all the volume being traded on, that's the one you want to trade. As of the one that I'm watching right here, looks like we are still on March, but this does show updated on the 14th. Still does show updated on the 14th. But that is a good note, Mike. That's a really good note. So, even more reason to be a little bit calm and not ready to do anything too crazy. Again, a lot of people approach different things differently. For me, I'm starting to get through more and more, rollovers. I usually don't find anything too crazy. Like I said, maybe you get some weird irregular price action. Maybe you get some low volume, some kind of choppy consolidation leading into that rollover where it seems like there's a lot of just changing over going on. The one thing that I've noted for me is I use Bookmap, which I'm not displaying on this live session here on StreamYard. Sometimes that starts to look a little bit funky, like especially like CVD and things like that. They start to look a little bit weird, for lack of a better term. They can look a little bit odd. So for those reasons, maybe it's you apply a little bit more caution to your trading, to what you're going to get rolling on the next day or so. But once everything swaps over, usually it's back to the normal stuff. Good question though, and important to talk about. Really important to talk about. Contract rollover now and war. No big players move markets. Yeah, kind of slow, man. Kind of choppy, right? If we look at what YM did here, just objectively, price action wise, this is choppy, super back and forth, a whole lot of nothing. Man, am I gonna have to take the same trade that I took in here? I think I might have to fade this again coming up here, guys. Not doing anything yet, but I am looking at yesterday's high as we are pushing higher. I'm not going to hit any buttons just yet, guys. Not going to hit any buttons. But I'm just looking using TradingView's order card over here, logged in through Tradeovate, at where my 200-point, 200-tick stop loss would be in YM. Up above these highs, 1 mini. It's about $1,000 worth of risk. Yeah, this is not going to be a bad play, at least for me. And I think I'm going to have to take this one. I'm going to wait for the 47,200s to potentially be taken out. That's another 80 points higher. If we get that, I'm going to look for the fade back down. That would be above prior day's high, right? Be above prior day's high. Let's get rid of this so we don't block up so much of the screen. That would be right in here. Starting to frame some trade ideas out. Let's go for the 47,200s just to take a look. Again, I don't want to just automatically be short here. If I wanted to automatically be short there, I would use an order type that would allow me to do that. I would be limit sell. I'm not doing that. I want to see what happens if we potentially come up here, because maybe we turn around right here. What happens when we get here? We get a little bit of, orders getting filled, looking like we're putting up a fight, in this potential resistance zone, this area that we've rejected from multiple times. Or are we just going to put, lower highs in here, technically this bad boy as well, and just go back down? Let's see. Sitting patient. Monday morning, man. No reason to do anything too crazy. Oh, good morning. Yeah, what did we say? We're talking about that. Just on type of trader, so happy, really like your aura. Appreciate you, bro. We're aura farming. Hidden code in the live. No hidden code in the live. Yeah, guys, if you hear from what happened to day 5 hidden code. What's up, Andrew Baggs? Afternoon. Day 5 was taken down by an IG. If you guys are here from IG, welcome to the show. I know we got a ton of people hopping on these live streams. I absolutely exploded on IG. I doubled my follower account last week on IG, which is absolutely crazy. I have like 20-something thousand followers. I appreciate you guys. Welcome. Part of that growth was doing this hide the code game for 50K elite daily accounts from Top 1 Futures. Everybody that found the code, guys, has gotten one of them so far. Nobody found for day 2, and multiple of the days have been taken down by IG. Why would I delete them? They're doing so damn well. It's awesome. I love the engagement. It's super fun to do. I love giveaways. If you're new here, we do giveaways in the live stream almost every day. We throw the banner up, right? Hold on. I have to 50K prop account giveaways every week. Boom. Yeah, day 5 was taken down, but nobody found the code. If you guys are here from IG, don't worry. We're going to do more giveaways on IG. We're also going to do giveaways right here on stream because we do them almost every damn day. Especially when we get Clay from Top 1 on. We usually run some extra fun stuff. Maybe it's not just a discount. It's not just a giveaway. Maybe it's a special discount. I don't know. We're going to have to wait for him to hop on. Yeah, but that's what we got going on IG. I pray that I win an account. Okay, yeah, awesome, guys. Again, you don't have to pray or beg, or hope or anything like that. I know everybody loves the giveaways, man. We'll run them. Don't worry. No, nobody found day 2 from IG. But if you're on IG, you can watch the stories and watch the posts and everything. I keep you guys updated. I try my best to keep you guys updated. Those do move super duper fast, though. Super fast. But stay tuned on IG, man. I'm not done. I'm going to have to do something different because IG keeps taking them down. So I'm going to have to do something different. Otherwise, I'm going to risk, something bad happening. And I try to follow all the rules and not break any rules that they don't want me to do. So I'm a good little Christian boy. I'm going to do something different on IG, but I'm going to try to read their rules and make sure I'm not breaking any of them. But if you hang out on stream, just so you guys know, for those of you guys that are new, we do giveaways on stream. Usually how that works is random days, random times. This way I don't pigeonhole myself to say we do it every day. It's almost every day, definitely every week. Random days, random times. I will drop a form in the chat. Maybe it's in the chat. Maybe it's in Discord. Maybe you have to follow on IG. Maybe you have to follow on YouTube. Maybe you have to, be part of the Discord that's free. Always free 99. And you get it filled out, and then we pick a random person on here. There's no code. There's no find anything. We just run duck races. Duck race is just a random number picker. But the one thing that you have to make sure that you do with all of the giveaways, since we're talking about it, is fill everything out correctly. I have so many scammers and spammers. As you can see, I was sharing it in Discord. It's crazy. Everybody tries to run the game everywhere. You just got to fill everything out correctly, man. There's no changes after the fact. If you put the wrong name down, if you fill the form out 5 times, if you put the wrong email down, there's no tolerance for that, guys. We can't do it. Watching this market push to the upside as we're yapping, hanging out. 9:53 a.m. Not much here, guys. I'm still no trade. I'm not doing anything crazy. I have no setup at all. This is not a whole lot out of YM. Very, very slow moving market. And it looks like, all of these guys, we got nothing going on today. That's cool. I'm not going to get chopped up. I'm going to wait to see if we go trade through these 47,200s. Why? Higher time frame area of interest based on visible range volume profile, based on price action and market structure, right? Based on recent price action and market structure, some rejections, some daily rejections at this zone. Curious to see if we reject here again, right? Play that mean reversion style trade right back down towards VWAP, back down to current volume point of control, yesterday's volume point of control, maybe this high volume node on visible range volume profile if I'm just getting all of this nonsense that we've been doing for the last couple days here. That's kind of the thesis here, guys. But for now, just hang tight. Let's see. Yeah, you asked the same questions. Wayne, I don't know. Stay tuned, brother. I don't know. We'll see. All right, if I gave you all of the answers to all of the questions about giveaways, then, where would the fun be in that? Car show at the Hard Rock was crazy. I was there in December. Wow. Yeah, dude, it was nuts. It was cool. I went to Supercar Saturdays on Saturday this week at the Hard Rock down in Hollywood. It was super cool. Super, super cool, man. Insane cars out there. Absolutely insane cars out there. Mahid HQ, what's up? RW, Shocky Stories, what's happening? I'm learning to trade at work at the same time. Learning to trade and work at the same time. Any advice on how to blend both? Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. I did that for quite a while. You kind of got 2 options, right? I think in that realm, as we're watching the market not do anything and just yapping. You kind of got 2 options. I think option number 1 is you're going to scalp, you're going to trade lower time frames, and you're going to set a time where you're fully focused for a very short amount of time. Maybe it's a break, maybe it's lunch, and you essentially are not going to work at all, and you're going to be fully focused, with the charts up. You're going to block that off for, a couple hours or whatever it is. Maybe it's only an hour, and that's going to be your trading time, right? And you're going to tailor an approach, a strategy, a style of trading around that. And then you're not going to trade for the rest of the day because you're focused and working, right? Or option number 2, you're kind of going to swing trade, right? You're going to maybe wake up before work, mark your charts up, do your review, get everything set alerts, right, on TradingView, and you're going to enter from higher time frames as those alerts get off, right? You're maybe going to, as soon as an alert goes off, you have the flexibility to go, okay, I'm going to pay attention to the charts for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to structure my risk. I'm going to set my stop loss and take profit. And then I'm going to set a couple more alerts. And then maybe I'll check on them, at 30-minute candle closures, or as soon as an alert goes off, or I'm going to set it and forget it. You're kind of going to swing trade throughout the day. I think that's probably the only two ways that I would go about it. I know a lot of people are in that position. I think swing trading makes the most sense, or at least higher time frame intraday trading. Not too far off from what I do here. But I don't think like trying to be on the charts randomly at all different times of the day, and be completely distracted from both and kind of like half-ass it on both sides is the way to go. I'd say set a specific amount of time, even if it's an hour, right? You're going to trade NYSE open and you're going to scalp NQ and you're going to trade the 15-minute orb or whatever it is, right? And then you're done for the day. You're completely done. You close the charts, you're done. Or you're going to swing trade, right? So you have plenty of time overnight, in the morning, before you set up, bunch of alerts, right? Maybe you're focusing on a couple instruments. You set your alerts. You set your if price gets to this area, I'm going to go ahead and enter, and then you run it that way. As we watch price push to the upside here, guys, I might have to run the same damn play. Here, guys. Yeah, so here's the thesis, right? I think we either are going to continue this chop, right? I think we might push to the high end of this. So I would want to wait a little bit more. I'd like to get my, I don't like where that is. I'd like to get my, why did it do that? First off, I'm going to go limit plus an offset. Because I don't like, what's been going on with this market order thing. I'll go 3. Bid plus 3, limit sell. Yeah, again, thesis is, sorry guys, we're just looking at the order here. Thesis is if we are gonna come all the way up here, I think we're either gonna do one of two things. Drill back down, go take out this, 930 low, back to VWAP, back to this area of high volume, back to volume point of control, right? That mean reversion play, and then maybe take off, or maybe just kind of do what we've been doing, right? And just chop around over here. Or we're going to blast off today, right? And if we blast off, I'm dead wrong. It's a fine way to structure risk for me. I'm a little bit cautious up here, right? I do think we could pop a little bit higher today. We got some volume up here. We got a volume point of control. I don't love this being right here, at least for now. Trading the 175s. I'm going to get ready for this short, guys. I think there's a chance that we do this, and I don't like to be wrong like that. I like to be dead wrong where we just blast off. But this isn't bad. We've already traded. I might be waiting too long on it. We've already traded 800 points off the low today, man. Above yesterday's high. Yeah, I'm going to go for this one, guys. We could just grind higher today. We could absolutely blast off, but I'm going to go for this one. Let's do our bid plus an offset thing we're trying to do here, so we don't get cooked by TradingView orders, TradingView market orders. I'd like to see this nice round psychological number get taken out, but I think I'm going to be caught waiting here. 10 a.m. changeover. Yeah. Yep. I'm going to wait. Obviously, I'm waiting now, right? 10 a.m., obviously, a lot of volatility can come into the markets. Here's the candle opening up immediately, almost 70 points to the downside. I'd like a deep push into this zone. I'd like us to dance around up here before I get short. We didn't really crack here. We didn't push really aggressively to the upside, so I don't know that we pushed really aggressively back down. We've kind of just been slowly grinding higher. You can see it on lower time frames, little pullback, but we kind of just been drifting. So I'm going to wait patiently. I'd prefer to miss it today rather than get in too early and get stopped out, right? I'd prefer to just wait for my area to be completely taken and go, this is a good trade. If I have to take an L, I have to take an L. And that's going to be the 200s, like really right into the 200s, right into the top end of this. We did crack yesterday's high after cracking yesterday's low. Maybe this is going to be the reversion right here, and I'm just going to be missing it by an inch. But I'm going to stay patient, see if we get the 200s, and then what happens up here. Yeah, I don't want to be structured like this. I don't want to be right in here. I really just don't want a stop loss right in here. I'd like one like way outside, right? I'd like it way out here. Allow for this to come up if it needs to, dance around, and then come back in. So patience, spelled P-A-Y, patience. That's going to be the name of the game. And something that's worked really well for me in this account, man. Again, I'm doing two different things, just so you guys that are new, because I see we got a ton of people on. Welcome, man. I appreciate everybody hopping on. You guys are awesome. Welcome to the show. If you guys got questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I also have a ton of videos on YouTube. I've got podcasts and interviews if you want to hear more about me and my story, because I know we got so many people on here. What's helped me in this account, which this is a 15K Top 1 Futures live account. It's a prop firm live account, the one that you get moved to after you trade well enough, you take payouts, whatever it is, right? What's helped me hold on to this since October of last year, the beginning of October of last year, and take 20 payouts, taking a payout more weeks than not, oftentimes multiple payouts per week because there's daily payouts, no consistency, is being patient, is going no trade, is not doing something stupid and just forcing a trade because I want to take a trade. Not to say that I haven't done it, not to say that I haven't made mistakes in this account and taken bad trades, because I certainly have, but trying to slow my ass down and wait patiently to go, okay, the 200s didn't get taken. Instead of jumping in here 100 points below, which I really wanted to do, right? Like we're seeing right now, and FOMO in down here, and then go, damn, bro, look at what happened. Right back to where right back to where you wanted to initially enter, right? Now maybe we just blast lower, right? On another day we just sell off, and I missed that. But staying patient, being okay, going no trade, waiting for the market to come to me, all the stuff that we know we're supposed to be doing has really helped me. It's not super exciting. It's not, super high frequency. Maybe it's not great for trading aggressively in prop accounts. What I'm doing outside of this is exactly what I just said. Trading super aggressively in some prop accounts on the side, more higher frequency scalping on NQ, looking to leverage that if I can. But today we got some patience off the open here. Well, I see we got somebody in the background here, man. I think we got somebody in the background that I'm getting ready to bring on. Hang tight, chat. Let me go ahead and get this one set. We have none other than Clay B. Hodges hopping on the show. What's going on, Clay? What's happening,
what up?
Man?
Can you hear me okay? I put on my headphones this time. I think the audio is better this way.
I think we can hear you. Chat, let us know if everything's clear, but I can hear you, brother.
Nice, man. Back to the real world.
That's it.
You've been back for a week, but this is the first time we linked up.
Yeah, man.
Since the trip, man. How you feeling?
Good, dude. Finally, finally back towards that 100%. Chat, if you guys missed it, we had a big Top 1 Futures trip down in Colombia, and most of the people came back pretty beat up after that one. But I've been running a little bit of a cold, but I'm feeling much better, man. Feeling much better.
Nice. Yeah, so you didn't escape?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah, same here, man. Let's say what up to everybody in the chat.
Yeah. Chat, what's going on? Guys, I'll introduce again, because I know that was like halfway. Clay is Top 1 Futures, Top 1 Trader, founder. This is the man one of the men who's making a lot of decisions behind the scenes over at one of the fastest growing futures prop firms.
trying to make the right decisions, dude. So I was watching your intro though, so not gonna FOMO into this one. Is that it?
Yeah, man. No, I'm not gonna FOMO into this one, man. Trying to stay patient. This is not absolutely beautiful for me, and what I look for right off of the open, I'd like to see it a little bit more aggressively to the upside. I did catch a really nice sell here on Friday, right back in. So I was kind of looking for the same thing. This market's kind of just choppy, right? This back and forth type of movement. So I'm looking to continue to capitalize on that. I wanted the 200s. We did pop right back up and get close here. But I'm staying patient. It's Monday. I'm not looking to do anything too crazy. Let this market start to open up and find some good trades.
Yeah, I actually took Austin would be proud of me because I took a VWAP trade last night Asian session on NQ. It was like
Nice.
right at, let's see if you wanted to pull it up. It's honestly, it was like kind of market open. It was like 743.
Nice. Caught the VWAP bounce.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I felt pretty good about that. Yes, sometimes when you do it right off market open like that on Asian on Sunday night, not the smartest move, but we've been trending higher ever since then.
Yeah, we really did. Were you on ES or NQ?
NQ.
Oh, nice. Yeah, both of these I think had a pretty clean bounce. Oh yeah, that's like beautiful. Really beautiful. These are clean, guys. If you guys don't know, we're talking about Austin Silver, ASFX. There's a handful of guys that I work with, and I have VWAP on my chart. But man, like I think there's a lot of traders that would say, if I could only have one tool, give me VWAP and I'll make it work. And I think so many people have it on their chart for a pretty good reason. It's not magic, but man, it's hard to dispute some of the moves that we get off of VWAP on the U.S. indices.
I think for sure, for anybody that's like learning to trade in this modality of prop trading, where you have to be, it's not quite scalping, but it kind of is, right? So you have to get in and out of trades. You can't hold it for the long term. So, because price goes in and out of the VWAP on a session a ton of times, right? Sometimes goes like straight through it. Like you can see, I guess before your volume bars, right? Or right where the volume changes. That's the market open, right? Like where the, okay, right. So price goes right through there, breaks the VWAP, then comes back. So if you just have it on for, I don't know, like a full day's session, it can be pretty confusing. But if you're doing it on a minute time frame or 2 minute, 3 minute, 15 minute, you have one clean bounce here and then, or one hit on it and then a clean bounce. I think it's super powerful tool, especially for day trading futures,
Yeah. No, it definitely is. I watched some of the plays that guys take, and it's like, it's super simple, right? Trending above VWAP. They're waiting for the pullback down. It taps. They're looking to get in. I know Tanner does a lot with it as well, that pullback to VWAP play. And he's like I've talked to him. I'm like, dude, like huge days, putting up like tens of thousands of dollars. I'm like, dude, what was this? He's like, simple, dude, VWAP, like bought off of VWAP. I'm like, no way, man. So yeah, if there's something you could find that plays out a little bit more often than not, something you could build some confidence in, I think if it's simple, all the more better. And VWAP can definitely be that.
Where did you learn the volume metrics, or is that what you call it?
Like volume profiles. I'd say kind of self-taught in that respect. Like I definitely picked it up from other people that were using it. I was trading live with I don't even know who at the time. A handful of different traders that were using volume.
Were you using it in Forex?
No. So like this was after I came over to futures, because there was no volume at all in Forex, and I was like a little kid. I was like, oh my gosh, like we can get volume, we get reliable volume, we can actually see it, and I talk about that a little bit. But yeah, that's probably why all the tools on my chart are volume tools. Like everything on my chart, volume profile, VWAP, which is volume weighted average price, and then traditional volume down on the bottom. Like that's it. But yeah, I find a lot of confidence in it. I like what it displays. I think it's, just like preference, right? Like, some guys maybe are going to love, moving average, like different moving averages, or maybe even like Bollinger Bands, or some kind of like MACD combination, or RSI. Like, I think they all display similar things. It's just whatever you find preference in, whatever you seem to believe is going to work well, or your eyes are trained on it, that type of deal.
I think that's super important, because this is something that I always talked about when I was mentoring, is giving yourself a home field advantage. So what I mean by that is, like, your charts always look the same, maybe change a little bit here and there, maybe test some things out, or but in general, it looks the same. And this would be like when I was mentoring people, I could tell they were struggling, because like they would show up to a call and like all the
new chart colors, constantly.
Yeah, all the colors on the candlesticks would be changed. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yep. New
last
tools,
time it
new
was green and red,
indicators.
now it's purple and orange. Like, why are we going this route?
Yep.
So that's why I say give yourself a home field advantage, because you really just, I think you hit on it. Your eyes get trained, and then it's like, oh man, somebody, I think it was on the Mega stream you said this, but or maybe it's when we were streaming, but like whether or not the indicators really work, does it matter more if you just believe they're working for you? Oh, that was on Austin's podcast, or we did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was the conversation. Like, what needs to kind of like come into play, right? There's like that self-fulfilling prophecy within the markets, right? Because I do think about that. Like the markets and price and where we're headed, it's this perception of all the humans, right? And all the market participants. And if enough people are perceiving one thing happening over another, right? Like, it gets technical. Like, I try to stay away from that. Like the why behind price movements. Like, why is this really happening?
Right.
If you just stay technical with it and you're like, well, it happens slightly more often than not. We bounce at VWAP. Is it because VWAP holds some magical power? Is it because institutions are buying or selling off of VWAP? Is it because everybody watches VWAP and everybody sells off of VWAP? It's
do you think when you try to get into the why, it becomes like almost like a conspiracy thing with ICT?
Yeah, I don't think it helps.
Right? They're like, oh yeah, he got kidnapped, and more like they told me the market maker algorithm is like, is that really what's going on?
Yeah, dude, like that's the thing. Like how here I start trying to ask the question, like, how is that helping somebody, right? Like, is that going to help you to know, or is that just more information that you're having to process? I'm watching this thing said almost miss a short here, but like, is it going to help you somehow, right? Is it going to help you to understand why the why behind every single market movement, right? Probably not, and I don't think we're ever really going to understand it anyway. So, if we're going to be technical traders, I think focus on price, focus on volume, focus on whatever tools you want to use. If you want to use some fundamentals and, try to create that understanding, that's great. Create a narrative behind what's going on. But, I try to stay away from that as much as I can. I don't really care about the why as much as I do what's physically happening on the chart. How often does it happen? How can I structure risk?
Yeah, if you're thinking about why, maybe like liquidity sweeps, or people getting their orders taken out, which I guess you can see that's clearly with a tool like Bookmap. I guess really with your volume tools, isn't that what it's showing as well?
Yeah, for sure. It does show a ton, right? And I am a believer that there's this market auction theory, and this is what's going on kind of factually behind at these exchanges. But again, I think so many, and I did this for a while, like so many traders try to get so deep into why the market has to go in one direction, right? News says this, and the rate is going up, and the Fed's doing this, so the market has to go up, right? And the market, like, at least to me, it does whatever it wants to do. It's based on this, big perception of what everybody, is thinking and how they're interacting with it. But trying to understand the why behind every single price movement, it never helped me create a better edge, right? Never helped me execute better or anything like that. Maybe somebody else, but keeping it stupidly simple is the way I try to.
Right. I mean, isn't that what people go to like Harvard and MIT for? And do they ever figure it out?
No. I mean? Yeah, like watch CNBC, right? Like those dudes are wrong every day. Here's the the economy and all of the drivers and all the fundamentals and all of these things and the models, and this is what should happen. And then it's like, I don't know, like Trump says like something about a tariff and the market rips 1,000 points, or out of nowhere, right? Price just jumps crazy on NQ, right? Like, is that going to help you trade in the low time frames intraday on futures? Maybe, but not really me. So yeah, I don't.
If they can't figure it out, like what makes us believe we can?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. At
the end of the day, you're just kind of betting on the price, whether it's going up or down, and when to get in and when to get out.
100%.
Anything beyond that is like just kind of mental, I don't know, merry-go-round, right?
Yeah. I think like people try to do it because it feels like it gives you some certainty. It gives you like this comforting feeling, like I know what's going to happen next because of XYZ, or this is what should happen, and this makes sense. And I think that's why people go for it.
And then it doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
Happen. And then you got to be like, why didn't it happen?
Yeah. It's even worse.
Which I think it kind of gets back to Mark Douglas, right? Well, it's because it's like a random chain of events. It doesn't always happen the way we think it's going to happen, or the indicator or bot or trend line or supply zone or whatever you use isn't always going to work, you know?
Yeah. No, it's that's the fact. Very, very random on the short term, really consistent on the long term. We're not going to know what's going to happen on any one next trade, right? Like that Mark Douglas mindset. I subscribe to that a lot. And, you know, again, like I'm not knocking anybody for those listening. If you have a way that you want to understand and interpret the markets, you know, and that involves some fundamentals, go for it. But I think like it took some other guys asking me, because I would always be talking about like news or what's happening or this and that. And they're like, oh, really? That's great, man. How is that going to help you today? Like, does that mean you're going to like buy or sell or do something different? And no, they're like, well, you're holding on to this weird bias and thinking about something that really has nothing to do with what you're actually about to do on the charts. So I think like asking yourself regularly, like, does it help me to know what somebody's yelling about on Twitter, or, you know, maybe the fund, you know, federal rate is XYZ and I think it's going to go up. And like, if you're not using that or back testing with it and forward testing with it, I think trying to clear that from your mind can be really freeing and helpful.
Do you think that's more important than Forex? Like interest rate decisions with the Fed, central banks? Because if you look at the news this week, I mean, dude, it's basically like every bank.
Yeah. I mean, I think for, you know, maybe in the stock market, right? Like individual stock market plays, like really understanding what's going on behind the company. I think that could be a little bit more important. Maybe it's a little bit clearer. But as far as like the US indices and gold, man, like it's just so hard to ever wrap my head. Cause like I tried, I'll go further. I tried for a while. I was like, all right, let me study like what happened, you know, for the last CPI. What was it forecast? What did it come out? And was it above or below? And then what did the market do? And then by how much? And like, I'd watch that and I'd get to, you know, the new CPI, and I know what was supposed to happen. It would happen and the market would just completely disrespect it. It would just do something completely different. And there was always some after the fact reason that some talking head on CNBC would come up with. They'd be like, well, actually, because it came out higher, that's bad because of this and that. I'm like, dude, this is like, come on, man. They were like, we're jumping through hoops here. So again, maybe other traders can. I could never wrap my head around it and provide any more additional edge than if I wasn't using it and if I was just focusing on what I do, which is, you know, primarily price action, market structure, volume. So like, and it was really frustrating. Like that type of stuff was so frustrating because I'd be like, I got it. I studied, I got it down. And then the market would just like completely disrespect everything that I thought was going to happen. And yeah, those days are behind me for, you know, trying to predict what's going to happen by some fundamentals or anything like that.
Do you think it's better to like wait posthumously and then see how the market reacts, give it 10, 15 minutes and then make a decision? I mean, you probably don't, if it's a big, you know, FOMC or something like that, CPI, more than likely you're not going to hold a trade going into that or even market open. How often do you do that?
Not often.
With a ton of questions, but
no. So not often for holding into news and not often for holding into market open. For me, like, you know, if you said, okay, like, how do you use this stuff? You're aware of news, you're aware of some context, you know, like, how would you use this in your trading? What I do is, when is the news? Like, we have FOMC later this week, you know, before, during, and after, how do I want to approach it in general? And for me, you know, during, I don't want to like YOLO it. I don't want to trade right into news. And then during, before it, I might anticipate a little bit more chop, a little bit more consolidation, a little bit more low volume, right? How do I use that in my trading? Maybe I'm going to be a little bit more cautious on going for these big trends because slightly more often than not, ahead of a big financial news release, we don't break and run in one direction, right? Maybe that's how I utilize it a little bit. Maybe after, I'll say, you know, context just from watching the market play out for years, after maybe FOMC or unemployment or CPI or whatever it is, decisions in the market. If the market starts to break and move, there's potential for that to continue. We have that fundamental news, right? But not so much as like, you know, here's what I think the rate should be. Here's what forecast. Here's what it comes out. And I'm going to buy or sell based on that. I think that's just a loser's game these days, man.
Right. So, I agree with that.
A little bit of context.
Yeah, for sure. Well, everybody did it when they started. They're like, all right, we're going to put buy stop below Euro USD, or buy
man.
stop above, sell stop below, NFP. Let's see what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna put 10 lots on it.
Yep, we got it all figured out. Yeah, I honestly, dude, I see that every like couple of months, like the CPI method. That's all it takes, and I'm like, man, I've tested it. I have, just because like I have to do it, like for the culture, for the science. But man, it's if it was that simple, guys, for anybody listening, like that's all everybody would do, right?
Right, and everybody goes through that phase.
Those days,
you have to go through that phase and be like, oh shit, I didn't realize. And then it works one time, and then you're like, oh dude, I got this figured out.
Like, you're like, dude, quit the day job now. We're traveling the world, man.
Exactly. And then, but that's the arc. And then you got to realize it's a lot harder than you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was just watching this market, man, before we go too much further. I know we got some special stuff for the stream. I'm looking at a short up here, chat, for anybody listening. We're kind of just chopping up here. There is a chance that we just break and run. We really didn't pull back. I'm looking to enter at this same area. We did get the 200s taken, as I was talking earlier. I'm going to wait to see if we push a little bit higher and look to jump into a short. Wide stop loss, fairly wide take profit. Look for this chop to continue, right? I'm dead wrong if we just put a big 1,000-point day in here on YM to the upside. And we just continue 200 points higher. I'm right if we start to consolidate here and drop back down towards VWAP. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into this one right here. Yeah, I'm short one mini, 47,158. My stop's at 47,357. I've got a super duper arbitrary take profit order down here, which obviously I'm not holding to, but just in case I want to step away, this is an OCO bracket that I could use. I've talked about the differences of trading on TradingView here. But yeah, this can be my trade. Kind of similar to what we went for on Friday that paid really, really nicely. A little bit different just because it is so choppy and consolidating up here. 10:23 a.m. We are sitting right by what would be initial balance high. But this same trade has paid me, over and over and over again. I'm going to have to realize losses as they come. But if I don't put this one on and I watch it run all the way back to VWAP here, I'm going to be really, really disappointed. So that's going to be my trade for the day. For potential take profit on this, I'd love to see 200 points in my direction, but I'd love to see at least down towards it's about 200 points down towards this current volume point of control, this developing volume point of control, top end of this area of high volume. And that's probably going to be VWAP by the time we start to move. Again, if we just blast higher today, I'm dead wrong. We put a big bullish day in off the lows to my stop. That would be approaching that 1,000-point level. So that's my trade. Short one, set risk. Just to go further with it, if I take the loss on this one, I'll be done for the day. No follow-up trade. I would be done with $990 of an L and save it for tomorrow.
YM,
man. YM short. Let's see. I see we got a bunch of questions in chat, and you're answering them as always, which is epic.
Is slow mode on?
I did. I had.
Nice. That's good. Sorry, I started coming in here and just spamming the chat. Damn.
No, I should be able to
hit.
I'll get it off for you next time.
No. It's all good. I'm messing with you. So we got 35 minutes. We got a promotion for you guys for the last 30 minutes. 10% off. You already got the code?
Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and throw this up. It is code RDF stream. Go ahead, Clay. You get
That's it. 70. It's 10% off more than our current promotion. So 70% off. Let's go. You got 35 minutes. It's over at 11 Central Standard or Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me.
There we go, guys.
So 70% off your first account and 10% off any more after that. So take advantage of it. We will run some duck races too, so don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, chat. Don't worry, guys. Listen, we're not going anywhere, right? The duck races aren't going anywhere.
I know that I can sense a general sense of anxiety in the chat about whether or not there'll be giveaways in duck races.
So funny, man. Listen, everybody loves the duck races, the giveaways, man. But of course, we're providing even more value than that. But yeah, just to reiterate it one more time, guys. Code RDF Stream, all caps. I don't know if that matters, but all caps, no spaces, for 35 minutes up until 11 a.m. gives you 10% additional. Right now, the first account it should be, if you haven't already gotten that 60% deal, you can get 70%. After that, it would be 60%, at least on the stuff that is 50% off right now. So code RDF Stream, head to the site. Link is in the chat. Code is in the chat. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw it in. But take advantage, guys. I appreciate you guys, Clay, coming on. I appreciate Top One doing these awesome discounts.
Yeah, and so we have a good conversation in here. Although this is more for FX, Forex, because it's different with futures. But about, and honestly, I've been getting this question a lot lately. I do think the pendulum is swinging back for people to want to be able to trade their own capital. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
For people to be able to trade their own capital? Yeah,
like broker accounts.
Yeah.
Whether it's prop firms or, which is the goal of prop trading, is to be able to get to where you can trade your own capital, right? Safely. I think too, once you've been trading prop for a year, 2 years, you're starting to take some payouts. You will find, if you're trading, not just like trading the prop firm game, we talk about this like all the time.
Yeah.
But if you're trading for real, like the way Zach does, I mean, 20 payouts on your live account. I mean, you and Austin are the record holders. We'll see who wins from that. Now it's like, yeah. So if you want to know the two realest traders out there, it is legitimately Zach and Austin, because they are the two guys who have been on live accounts about the same amount of time, and each have taken like the same amount of payouts. So y'all are like in a race right now. So
yeah, dude.
Out of all the other people, so like I can tell you that 100%, like the realest of the real in here with Zach.
I appreciate it.
Real deal futures. That's like legit.
That's it, man. No, it's I appreciate it. Thank you, Clay. But dude, it's a good point, right? And people are asking about it. I think we do talk about it all the time, right? Like there's kind of, a couple different approaches you could have with trading, with prop firms. But I would ask anybody listening, right? It's always about finding a good return on investment, return on your time. But a lot of guys get sucked into this crazy, super aggressive, high ROI game, using a lot of money to make a lot of money. And I'm not saying it's not lucrative. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm not saying I'm not attempting to get more aggressive on the side. But I think if you're not at least trying to first develop something that would work in a live market, or something that would work if prop firms were not here any longer, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're never going to be able to trade a live account, right? If you're just full port YOLOing, sim accounts every single day until one of them hits. So, I think try to focus on that. And yeah, I do think the pendulum is swinging a little bit. I think guys want to be able to do both, right? They want to be able to trade props and make a lot of money with props, potentially keep risk low, have a really good, upside opportunity, and then leverage their own capital, right? If you create the skill set to do so. But I do think you see like a lot of traders that are huge in props not do anything that we're talking about, like me and Austin or anybody that trades live. They just are trading props, because what they do with props doesn't translate at all to live accounts. So, try to ask yourself, are you actually trading, or, are we just YOLOing prop accounts,
right.
and gambling, right? So there's a balance in there for sure. For sure.
And it's like a trend on Twitter now, because like prop firm CEOs are like, do you want me to show you how many accounts he's bought 2 payouts? Have you seen that?
Yeah. I've started to see that. It's interesting, man. I think it's like we talked about that on the podcast a bit, right? It was like, what do I think for prop firms? What do we want to see? It was like a tough question. I'm just sorry. I'm watching this over to the side, Clay, not to get distracted.
Great trade. No.
Running. Yeah, we're we're running. I'm just gonna talk about this real quick. We're running the downside. I'm gonna hold on to this one. I'm not gonna go stop loss to break even just yet. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna have the thesis that we sell off 1,000 points, like or 800 points, whatever this was. I'm not gonna hold it to the moon, but I'd love to see, like I was talking about, back towards these 950s. I close with discretion. I'll close as it makes sense. But we are getting that nice reaction off of this area. I'd love to see a nice candle come all the way down and fill some of this imbalance, if you will, off of 930. 400 some odd points in profit. Did it show me 100 points? Excuse me, 400 some odd dollars. Yeah, it showed me 100 points. I'm not going to stop loss to break even it just yet, but I'll call out if I'm getting ready to close this bad boy. But yeah, not a bad trade so far. We'll see. I
like it, dude. Looks good.
Yeah, man. Simple stuff. Again, don't know what's going to happen, right? We could rock it. Anything could happen. I always try to relay that to everybody that's watching along. You have to be at peace with that, right? My stop loss is where it is. Trade's still on. We could rip in my direction. We could rip against me and go and slip my stop loss. I'm comfortable with that. So that's where it is. If you're not comfortable with that, get out of your trade, close the trade, reduce position size, take risk off, do something different, but I try to always have that psychology piece where I'm telling myself over and over again, okay, you got $500 showing, right, in profit. Are you comfortable if that comes all the way back through your stop loss right now? I wouldn't be super psyched about it, but if I'm not comfortable with that at all, and that's going to trigger me to go on tilt, I better do something different. So,
well, and on the, you're on the 15, on that minute, I'm looking at it on, using Austin's kind of indicator, VWAP indicator, but it broke back inside the opening range and also breaking through the New York VWAP. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. You could have a good runner here.
Yeah, we'll see.
Your call if you want to close it.
Yeah, no. We'll see. I'm gonna see what we got back down towards this area. Volume point of control. Again, the thesis of these trades, as we're starting to come a little bit lower, I see we got a couple people in chat, just not to go bounce around too many topics. So we got a couple people in chat asking questions. Somebody in my Discord, somebody that's using the code, let us know if it worked. Again, it's 10% additional off of whatever the current discount is, right? So I'll test it myself quick on the side. But if you're, if you've already gotten the 60% off deal, it's going to be 60%, right? It's 10% over 50. So yeah, I'm looking at, let me go ahead and just take a quick double check. Yeah, I think it's working, guys. I think we're good. We're looking good. Yeah, it's showing. Since I've gotten it, since I've already entered a zillion codes in, it's showing for me. So
okay, cool. Thanks for.
Yeah. But yeah, on this thing, the thesis of these trades, just to talk about what we got going on as we got something played out. It's not to catch a huge reversal, right? It's not to catch the massive movement to the downside. It's this mean reversion style trade, right? That we're going to at least return back around VWAP here, which we're trying to do right now. So as we get closer to a TP, here's the point where I say I have to ask myself, am I comfortable with this turning around from here and stopping me out for $1,000? No, right? The thesis is that we continue a bit lower. I catch a little bit of profit on this one. We call it a day. So I'm going to go stop loss to break even on this bad boy, plus a couple ticks. Let me just zoom in because I'm on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, stop loss to break even, plus a couple ticks on this bad boy. We'll throw it right there. Getting close to 200 points in profit on this. Again, I'd love to see the 950s. If we got to come back and stop me out here, it's not quite enough for me to close my trades half an hour, every dang day, right? If I got $1,000 worth of risk on. So I'm going to hold this one. I'd love to see the top end of this. Get taken out. I don't know that I'd hold for a big movement to the downside. Certainly could happen, right? If we're just going to chop around today, certainly could go all the way back and forth. But, if I'm going to take trades like that, right, this should be my trade every day. I should do exactly what I did, but I got to hold this bad boy, every damn day, right? And realize that I'm going to have a lot of trades that do what it's doing right now, maybe show me $1,000 in profit. I don't close it, and then it comes back to stop me out. So I think finding that balance, and then like, what is the trade thesis? What's the idea behind your trade, right? What do you want to see happen for it to be a winner? And for me, it's really the back towards the area of high volume, on visible range volume profile, session volume profile, VWAP.
Is that what you call point of control?
Yeah. So
okay,
area of highest volume on whatever volume profile we're looking at is going to be point of control, volume point of control. So both of these two, this one is session volume profile. This is dynamic because it's still developing, right? Like as we trade, this is going to move around because it's for the current trading day. This is now fixed, right? Like Friday's session volume profile is down here, right? Like Friday's volume point of control is down here. That's not going to move. This bad boy moves as well. It's dynamic. It's the visible range volume profile. See, it like kind of jerks around as I display more or less price, but it gives you a temporary, like people call it temporary volume point of control based on whatever you're showing right here. But like for me, when I identify like, what's the high end of this, high volume area, it's right in here. If I was going to draw a little zone, which I will, boom, right in here, right? And what do we have that overlays there? Some price action right before we opened up to the upside, right? Some consolidation. We've got current volume point of control. VWAP is right in there. The high end of this visible range volume profile. If I zoom back, I could cherry pick a little bit more, right? We've got some, highs and lows that have been put in here, some key areas of, impulsive movements throughout this choppy range. But yeah, kind of just to pull back off the top end of this higher time frame range that we're starting to chop in for the last couple of days.
And it's interesting that low is the session low. I don't know if that makes a difference in you holding it there or not.
This bad boy right here, right?
The session, yeah.
Yep.
You're looking at 15. I'm over on the minute, so I guess that's exactly what it is.
No, another key level, right? That's now also our initial balance low, right? That's our right. New York low. That's our initial balance from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. That's our low. So yeah, like, again, I think another trader is going to just generate a much lower win rate than me. They're going to get short the way that I did, and they're going to go, no way, dude, I'm not closing this thing at all. I'm holding all the way down for,
I suffer from that problem.
Never closing.
Yeah. Well, because I use a lot of Fibonacci, so it depends on the pullback. And if it's right, then the 127 is a pretty good bet, but that's when it's with the trend, and this is against the trend. So
yep. I'm looking for this bad boy. I'm looking for a close on this bad boy. A little bit more of a push lower right into this volume point of control, but I don't really want to see it bounce. I'm watching classic streaming, trying to do like 3 things at one time: manage the stream, manage the comments, get a good trade on.
Right.
I'm moving book map around up top now, trying to get a good feel on that one.
Dude, you need some more screens.
I think I've got enough screens, but I need another hand or something to like work another mouse and have like 3 different things going on at the same time. Let's see if we get a push right down. What are we trading here? Trading the 970s. Yeah, I'm going to take this bad boy right in here. I'm going to take that bad boy right there, guys. Yeah,
$800.
$930. $930.
Not bad,
man. Just under $1,000 in the top 1 live account. Listen, man, I can't complain. I'm going to take another payout today, Clay. I'm going to hit you on the head again.
What's up. Yeah.
And plus, now I got Austin on me, so I can't, I can't have these come back on me. Now I really got some pressure on me, man. But yeah, guys, I'm excited to pull another one. This one was really, really simple. We'll see if it runs, right? Like Clay was saying, this still looks good to the downside. I think there's a case to be made to hold this thing all the way down here for triple that profit. I'm taking it right in here and calling it a W, right near that 1-to-1, right back to this.
Say that again. What are you going to do?
Take a payout today. Oh, 9:30. 9:30 in the top one live account. Snagging another daily payout in this bad boy. Coming for Austin, man. I'm on you, boy.
Say, dude, for sure. Great trade. Great trade.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's nice when it works out, man. YM, I really can't complain. YM's been paying me. We'll see if it does run, because I was in here for a really, really similar short, and this bad boy ran. You know, we'll see what we get here. But again, mean reversion style trade. I think even if we do bounce, right? Like even if we're gonna break to the upside and continue higher, what do we usually do? We pull this movement, right? You know, we oftentimes pull this movement right here. So maybe that's what we get today. But I would, if anybody's,
we're bouncing off the VWAP, like the session VWAP, right? So
yeah, we got down here pretty aggressively, and now I'm watching this on Bookmap. You know, we're starting to find buyers right in here. We're starting to try to put up a fight. So I think thesis from down here for anybody that's still trading, I think we either catch a really nice VWAP bounce right back up, or if we start to break through this area right here, where we're sitting, and we get through VWAP, like right here, we get some closes below, I think we're headed aggressively lower down towards the 700s. I think we got a chance to go and run another, 300 points lower, 250, 300 points lower. So we're back at another area of interest. Taking my trade off. Dude, it's a good Monday. It's a good Monday.
You and Austin on the mega stream we did. I don't know how many people in the chat saw that. You demonstrated how one person can be long, especially day trading futures on minute time frame. One person can be long, one person can be against the trend and short, which I do think takes a little more skill personally. And you're able to pull that off pretty consistently, which is impressive, dude. Not blowing smoke, but how many years of trading against the trend did it take?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. No, a lot, man. It's tough. I think, but again, like what you just said, I think is the most important for anybody listening in, man. Like Austin was getting long. Austin was getting short as we were selling off on Friday when we were down in Colombia 2 weeks ago now. And I was waiting for this really aggressive long play. And, I don't always damn near bottom tick the market. It was right in here. This was the Friday in Colombia. If we want to look at the price action on it, I actually did a YouTube video reviewing it. I got to post it up. But yeah, he was getting short on the way down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And the long play from down here. So, I don't think there's any one right or wrong way to do it. I think however, you find an edge in the market, wherever you could structure risk, however you view the market, for whatever reason, I think I got a decent read on these higher time frame areas of interest and a good way to structure risk. Like, I don't always get it like this. There's plenty of days where I get short and this thing just goes, nope. Like we're selling, we're completely pushing. And of course, the guys that are getting long, right, as we're breaking out, they look like geniuses that day. But I think it's just leaning into whatever works for you. And, you're going to find guys that do it completely different ways, guys that are going to be, longing into buying pressure and trying to ride that trend to the upside, and guys that are looking for that, reversal point, that area where we're starting to get a fight put up between buyers and sellers, and then, maybe a pullback down or just a complete reversal. So.
Yeah, no, awesome too. Like what I will say, way to just take your profits and then not be bothered whether or not it's going to continue. It's hard to pick up winning trades. And then that's like step two. It's like that one's becoming profitable, and two is knowing when to take your profits.
Yep. It's a great point. So like, here's the thought, guys, right? So many traders do what I just did right here, right? This is just rough. I don't have this exact, but I got short in here somewhere. We took a trade right in here, something along these lines, right? $930 just closed out. Now I have to accept and recognize that now that I close this trade, this market could dump, right? We could sell off, to the ground. And a lot of traders get FOMO. They get upset. Why did I close the trade? I could have made $5,000 if I just held on to it for forever. But you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do every day? Like, is that what you're going to do every day? Are you going to hold your trade to all the way to hell every single day? And then have all of those days where we do bounce at VWAP, right? We come right here. Instead of closing out, you're taking $1,000 L in pursuit of these big ones. Or are you going to be okay doing something similar to what I just did in here, right? Taking your reasonable profit, right? Like I'm happy with my $1,000, taking my reasonable profit and saying, I did my job, right? I got my portion of the movement today. I'm not going to capture all of it every day. I don't want to see price come all the way down here, 200 points in my direction, and then all the way back up to stop me out. Like I'm not comfortable with that. So close it out and then be comfortable with whatever's going to happen, right? The market's always going to keep moving. And if you're always trying to capture every single piece of the entire movement, you're going to be subject to all of those issues, right? The tilt, the FOMO, the anger. And I think rationalizing and really trying to understand that my job isn't to capture every movement. My job is to try to create a thesis around maybe one type of movement and then exploit that over and over and over again, and recognize that, I'm never going to capture, I damn near top ticked it on Friday. I'm never going to capture, 630 points unless I'm doing that day over day over day, right? And never closing out. So, it's just all about finding that balance. Market's always going to move.
The anger, the unbridled rage, the despair, being in the fetal position in the corner, asking yourself why again. How did this happen? We all know that feeling too. You transcended that though, at least.
Yeah, dude. Listen, and I've felt that for a long period of time, like as I had, like everybody has. But you have to come to terms with it, right? You really have to come to terms with like, what's your job, right? What are you here to do? And then what are you going to do over and over and over again? Because like, again, if your thesis is, hey, I catch the top and the market runs for 500 points, you better be in it, right? You better be holding that thing every damn day, and you better be comfortable with it, coming back on you, right? And if it's not, like you're going to have to make your bed with what I just did here. Take your 930 something bucks. And if the market wants to run, that's cool. I'm comfortable with that. Let it do whatever it's going to do. Right. I got my portion of the movement.
So that's on your 15K account, right?
Yeah. It's the 15K live with you guys.
So that would be, just to show how bad my math is. What percentage of that account would that be?
Well, here I'll go even.
6%. That's like 6%. A 6% gain.
So I'll toot my own horn even a little further, right? There's technically MLLs on these, right? Like, so you're never, with all prop firm accounts, you're never going to be able to kill the whole account. So if you figure, 10,000 is going to be the MLL, what percent is $1,000 of 9,000, right? That you're really putting up. So, I think like, again, a lot of people look at this stuff and they're like, back to what we were talking about. They're like $930. Like I saw somebody that put up, 10,000 or 20,000 on Twitter, right? And they're, what you're not seeing is them ripping through accounts, right, and burning through stuff. But I think if you're trading, a live account, a prop firm live account, you're trading just in a way where you don't want to blow through accounts, taking it slow and steady, and a really good, reasonable rate of return. I think $1,000 day on a $9,000 account is huge. It's almost too much. You probably don't want to be taking on $1,000 worth of risk. It's probably too heavy. It's good, so you gotta be happy with that.
How much risk?
That was about $990 worth of risk, initial risk.
Got it.
Yeah, on one mini. Guys, I see a ton of people typing in chat. It is code RDF stream. I have 70% up here because if you are eligible for the 60%, it's 10% additional. If you've already bought accounts, if you've gotten that 60% off, I'll change it. It's 10% additional, essentially, off of the best deal.
So say, for example, and then we got 10 minutes left. We'll do some duck races, and also 10 minutes left to use the code and get the promotion, right? So
yeah,
don't sleep on that. But if this was, say, a 50K personal account, your own capital, would you risk the same amount percentage-wise? And what game would that be?
It's a good question. So let me go back to the initial thought on this one. I think my goal with this one was to treat it like a real account, right? Like when I first got kicked in.
Right.
And my thesis was, what is my risk per trade if this is a live account, my own personal 15K live account, or maybe $9,000 live account, because technically I wouldn't be able to lose more than that. How much risk am I comfortable taking on every day? How much risk am I comfortable taking on each trade in order to, based on my win rate and risk to reward, to try to hold on to it, right? To try not to just lose it. And for me, I think $1,000 was fairly aggressive for risk per trade, but also risk per day, right? So like there's a $3,000 DLL on this bad boy, but I'm attempting to not give myself, a $3,000, $4,000 loss, lose half the account in one day. So is 10% almost super aggressive? Yeah, really aggressive. For me, I'm comfortable enough with that, just given my skill set and, capital allocation. My initial game plan was size down even more, which I think I was trading like $500 worth of risk when I first got started in October. But had I started to dig more of a hole, I'd probably slow down, probably de-risk a little bit more, size down. But yeah, I think for most people, like if you're in a live account, I think that 1%, 2%, 5% risk per trade, that's where those numbers come from, because you just can't be risking 25%, right? You can't be, you're going to risk ruin. So.
Right. I mean, so if it's a 150K account, would you do, and I guess this is all just hypothetical.
Yeah.
If it's a 150K account, you would have just pulled out about, 11K on that trade, right?
So, yeah. It's all relative. It's all relative, right?
Right.
All relative, right? So like, maybe like in a live account, I'm risking, if it's going to be like 5% of the account, right? Or maybe if it's close to this, if it is close to that 10% mark, you're pulling out a huge number. Same with copy trading, right? Same with copy trading props. You could always scale. But for anybody watching along, I think we get so lost. This is what we're talking about. We get so lost in like the huge payouts and, what people are doing. Try to focus on trading first. Try to focus on the skill of actually managing risk and structuring your trades and the psychology behind it. Then you can scale, right? Then you can go from there.
Well, that brings up another question too. Now we're getting warmed up. Do you think you would have the same success? You've taken 20 payouts, all ranging probably from 300 to, I don't know, what's your biggest one? 1,300 on that account?
Yeah, I think just over 1,000 by the time I requested.
Right. Within that range, had you been copy trading, do you think you would be, and also too, you would have to use TradeSync, the copy managed group feature within TradeEvade. Do you think you'd be as successful?
It's a good question. It's a really
even if it's 3 accounts, 3 15K accounts, for example.
I don't know. I don't know. I might not have treated it the exact same, right? From like a psychology perspective. Maybe you're more inclined to be more aggressive because it's a sim account and you can reset. Maybe you're more worried about it, but like, that part is the magic answer, right? Like as we start to gain some profitability, as we start to gain some consistency, oftentimes the thought is, well, I could just trade all of the money in the world and just make all of the money, or I could copy trade everything. But there's that scaling piece, the psychology piece, right? It's the same. Clicking the buttons are the same, but how you're thinking about it, that pressure, or that lack of care around it, right? Is what makes the better traders even better, right? So I'm up against that right now. I think everybody's going to be up against that at a certain point. As you start to grab onto some consistency, are you able to scale? Are you able to copy trade more? Are you able to trade larger live accounts? Are you able to size up and really manage watching that P&L fluctuate? So I don't know, right? Because if you could ask the question, well, like, all right, if this was a $5 million live account, would you have generated like the same return that you have so far in this 15K? Probably not, right? Probably not. I'm probably not there to trade, 50 minis on YM and watch the P&L fluctuate, 100K on a trade, right? My mind probably it's not.
Inside the DGen den would be very high.
Yeah, but that's the progression.
Yeah, maybe it would. Yeah. I will say, from my experience, copy trading multiple accounts always makes it harder. And also, too, we don't see many payouts of people that are like copy trading 5 accounts and taking max payout on all 5.
No,
Honestly, it's pretty rare. Copy trading 2 accounts, 3 accounts, sure, but I think that it becomes a whole mental. The rules go out the window. You start thinking about, oh, dude, I can pay off my car. I can, like take a trip to Italy or whatever, and you start. I know I do it, counting the chickens before they hatch.
Yep.
Anybody know that in the chat? You ever count the chickens before they hatch? Give me a why.
No, yeah, dude, it's
I'll put it in there.
No, throw the why. No, it's 1,000% true. I was talking about it with the other Zach. There we go. Thank you, Jay and Arvian.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we got one. No, so we got a little delay on stream. I could see it. There's the chat getting spammed with why.
Okay, we're having some radical honesty now. Yeah, no, but these are the questions, dude, for your risk or like to improve your trade psychology, identifying that. And I'll tell you, that is probably the biggest thing to eliminate. Thinking about what you're going to do with the money before it's in your bank account, before it's your payout's been approved. Like, dude, that is the killer of accounts, and it happens to everybody. So that's kind of why I meandered the combo into that direction.
No, I agree. It's I've been there before. It's a death sentence, man. If you're thinking about like that money in the account as what could be to pay bills, to buy something, to or what the next trade could be, what you could buy with your profit, your head is in the wrong spot. I really try as best as I can to disassociate, to really like think about the money as already gone, think about the money in a live account, in a prop account as trading risk capital. And dear Lord, if you're thinking about how much money you can make in the next trade and then what you're going to do with it and go out to dinner, you're in a really bad spot, man. Really bad spot. Just can't have that psychology around trading. It's going to be back and forth. It's very nonlinear, and that psychology is just an absolute killer. I can't remember if it's like Market Wizards or what book it was. Somebody might remember in the chat, but essentially, so I've read this like a couple of years ago. Essentially, it was they made a bet. This was between like professional traders, whatever pit they're at or whatever it was, that whoever could make like 20 grand first or 50 grand first, whatever it was, and buy this like fur coat, that was like their competition. They were going to make it. And then, like whoever could do that. And they all struggled with it. They all like could not make it happen because you took away from what's actually supposed to be happening, right? You're trading for this $20,000, fur coat or whatever. You're trading for, the next car that you're trying to buy, the Lambo. And that has nothing to do with trading. It has nothing to do with managing risk. And it's the farther away you get from the charts, man, the worse it is.
Yeah. For sure. You want to run some races?
Let's run it, dude. Let's run it, guys.
5 50K Ignite accounts.
All right. Yeah. You guys heard it here first. Let's get ready for some duck races.
No challenge, no anything. You're funded automatically, but that doesn't mean you YOLO the accounts.
There you go.
You've actually had payouts from people that did the giveaway accounts, right?
Yeah. I've actually had people that have won the free accounts take giveaways from the giveaway accounts, which is epic. I'm proud to say that from Team RDF here. All right, guys, let me go ahead. Give me 1 second and get this form dropped in the chat. Boom. We have giveaway form is live in the chat. I'll give you guys like a couple minutes to get this one filled out. This is going to be for 5 50K Ignite accounts from Top One Futures. Just one. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but look at the balance of VWAP.
Yeah, dude. I would not be too happy if I was still in this one right now.
Great trade, man.
Doesn't always work out nice, but when it does, it's nice.
Right.
I was saying that about like Cartagena, like it doesn't always work out that I damn near bottom tick the market in front of a room full of badass traders and prop firm CEOs, but boy, it's nice when it does.
Yeah. I mean, you came in there, dominated, dude.
All right, let me just make sure. Yeah, I was gonna make. Yeah, it took a payout that day. Yeah, it was epic. Yeah, one note, guys, because I've had this happen a lot. Please make sure you fill out the form correctly. You guys get one shot to fill this one out. Don't fill it out more than one time. Don't fill it out with different emails and names. I continually now have to tell people that you are banned and you can't get the account because you're scamming the form. Please don't do that. We run giveaways nonstop. We're doing 5 giveaways. Don't take yourself out of a chance to win one of the accounts. I just had it happen again. So be cool, guys. Clay's coming on, giving out accounts like candy, giving out crazy discounts, man. Be cool.
Yeah, I'd say if you're doing that, then like, we'll have to, I guess, ban you, right?
Yeah,
so,
man.
It's not worth getting banned from a prop firm for you're trying to do that. So
don't do it.
Just be cool. God, just be cool. Like, you're on the stream every day, so eventually you're gonna win.
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, guys, giveaway form is in chat. Go ahead and get it filled out. It's open to everybody. Just be cool about it. We'll get the ducks loaded up. We'll do 15-second duck races. We'll run them back to back really quick. Let me go ahead and get this set. But yeah, man, I'm happy to snag $900, 930 something bucks on this one, and be walking away with another payout today, and not have to worry about if the market's going to bounce here, run back through. I'm glad to be out of this.
What's total and live account payouts?
I don't know. I'd have to. I'd have to pull up.
It's going to start competing with our top sim account payouts, and that's a flex, dude.
Yeah, I know most of my stuff's pretty modest. I know a lot of guys got me cooked on that one. I know Austin's for sure got me cooked on total sim, total live. But that was part of the game plan, right? Like, if I was going for $10,000, right, or $20,000 in a couple days or a couple trades, what's the risk that I have to put on to get that done? And slowing it down to say, can I hold on to one payout? And then 2, and then can I hold on to this for a couple months? That's the mindset that's kept me in this one for a long time. And again, those base hits, they do start to stack up, man. Those base hits start to stack up.
And honestly, I will say, you going live was your idea.
Yeah. I was trying to get kicked live. Yeah, right. I was like, take me, right? A lot of guys don't want that, right? They don't want to get kicked live. They want to stay in a sim account. They're doing their thing. But this was a big challenge for me. This was my first live account with any prop firm, right? I always try to keep it where I've been. And so I was like, all right, let me get in here and make this happen. And then like, can I hold on to it? Because as and like, right, we get from a lot of the prop firms, most traders don't hold on to sim accounts for long at all. Most traders don't hold on to live accounts for long at all. So, it's been cool. It's been really a good, I think, exercise for me and demonstration like of what can be done if you slow yourself down, if you manage risk to the downside, if you just are keeping things controlled, stack base hits and hold on to accounts. So
yeah, you're the anomaly.
I'm trying, man. Listen, for today. I try to be humble about it. I'm gonna try for today. We'll see. Hey guys, I see we got a ton of people filling this out. I'm gonna give you guys another like 60 seconds. Get this one filled out, and we will start running this giveaway, man. Let's see. Right. Winning a giveaway is equivalent to your chances of dying in a car crash. I would strongly disagree, my man who says redemption fares. If you're new here, I run giveaways almost every day on my live stream. Right now, there's not that many people on stream. Typically, there's even less people that are on stream right now. I also run giveaways across all the other platforms. I have people that have won more than one time. Many people that have won more than one time. So I'd say if you stay here long enough, you have an extremely good chance of winning an account, far better than dying in a car crash. And arguably, one of the best chances to win an account for anybody else to stream. That doesn't say a lot about me and my live stream numbers, but maybe it will be worse in the future. But I will say that I think you have a much better chance of winning a giveaway account.
Yeah, and beyond that, dude, just don't put that out there. You got to be careful with
what
you put out the atmosphere.
For sure.
You might have to drive to the grocery store later.
Yeah, no, don't throw that out there. All right, guys, I am going to close this one down. We're going to run some ducks right now. Appreciate everybody that got this one filled out. Appreciate
And who all took that banger of a trade? I'm just curious.
Yeah, if you guys were looking short, let me know in the chat if you guys had the same mentality. I think, honestly, not to as I'm getting distracted, I think this was somewhat of an obvious one, man. Like, we're just chopping here, right? We're chopping here. If you're buying the high and then buying the high and buying the high, it's gonna be tough. Little bit of just reading context. So I won't be surprised because a lot of people, are all over the place with different stuff. But I'd be surprised if a lot of people weren't looking short up here.
Hopefully. I was honestly like, when you took the trade, I was like, man, I don't know. Because so bullish.
It's aggressive, man. Listen, I get a lot of that on the live stream. No, don't do that. Why would you buy? The market's gonna fall. It's just that reversion style, man.
Yeah.
And so it always looks like dangerous. It looks crazy when you take those trades, right? Like even in the room in Colombia, like Austin next to me is like shaking his head because he's long, he's shaking it. He's like, dude, like what? That's wild. Like what are you doing? So.
He's pure VWAP on, but hey, he trades like I do, which is one, pick the bias of the market and stick with that. Is it going up? Is it going down? And then look for pullbacks within that direction. But yeah, I just have an aversion to pain. So.
Yeah, no, I feel that. All right, guys, I'm gonna run these quick. We got 15 seconds on the chart. If you win, it's gonna come straight from Top One Futures to the email that you provided. You don't have to do anything crazy. It's gonna hit your email. We got quite a few ducks in this race.
Yeah, and then Jesse Stewart said FOMO is bad, but I need to see a retest of VWAP before I go short. And YM literally just retested the New York session VWAP, and is heading lower. So
yeah, I'm watching this thing come back down. Let's run these back to back. Good luck, guys.
Yeah, sorry, we weren't announcing the duck race very well, but somebody just won, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yes, congrats. MMM-BC1HM. Congrats, you guys and your crazy YouTube names. Let's run it. Yeah, we're getting some good questions in here. Back until I win. Congrats. Let's go. Someone asked if Top One has trade C. Let's go for number 3.
Trade C for sure. Definitely, it's a process onboarding platforms and stuff like that, but definitely deep C or trade C, deep charts, wealth charts. I think those are names of those. Ignacio
taking the W, the space duck here. That's round 3. Someone said 1 in 3K chance. 1 in 3K chance of what? You have a 5 in 141 here. I think you have a great chance of winning the giveaway if you were on today.
Yeah, that's like 1 and better than 1 in 5, right? Wait. Yeah.
No. I'm horrible at math also, despite being a decent trader, or what I like to think is a decent trader. Let's take it this good. I can't even pronounce it. The green striped duck, the number 91.
Gondorf.
There you go.
It's like,
Gondorf.
Like Gandalf's cousin, Gondorf.
Dope.
All right, I'll make a Lord of the Rings reference about anything, but kind of does.
Let's run it. Last one, guys. Good luck.
Cousin Gondorf. Nobody thought that was funny. All right, that's fine. It's fine. I'll take it. They can't all laugh. They can't all laugh.
Everybody's locked in on the Ducks. They want to see theirs.
Tim Korth getting past Brian coming up.
Brian C.
The queen.
I know who this is. Brian C. with the crown lipstick duck, man. I don't know, Brian.
Drag duck.
Taking the W. Awesome, man. Awesome. So, guys, if you won, because I know everybody always starts to ask, if you won, you will get the account straight from, let me stop it from quacking, straight from Top One Futures after the stream. Shout out to you guys for running the giveaways and coming on and doing the discounts, man. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on. Banger of a trade. I'm super impressed by that. So nice work. Anybody that's in the chat or I recognize a lot of the names now because I've been coming on here pretty often. dude, you're in the right stream. Watching somebody on a live account just demonstrate how he does it and take a payout in the same day, like not many other dudes streaming, if I would say any of them except maybe Austin, are doing that consistently.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. Thanks, Clay. It's listen, guys. Yeah, it's not always a good day. There's certainly times where I got a little bit of a hot streak going, but there's certainly times where I come on and it's, it's those days where the market just rips, right? It goes in one direction and, you don't look like you know what you're doing. But if you watch anybody, I think for long enough, you get a good feel, right? You're going to watch them through the winning streaks, through the losing streaks, and how they manage downside risk, how they manage those winning streaks without getting too crazy confident. All of a sudden they come in trading 10 minis the next day. But yeah, I appreciate it, Clay. Thanks. And for everybody on here, appreciate you guys being here as always.
And I'll be in Rio on Friday, but when I get back from Brazil, then coming on stream.
Nice. We're going to run it back.
Promos, more winning. So much y'all are going to get tired of winning.
Listen, man, I don't know how we can make it any better. We had the winning trade today. Damn, very little heat for a 200-point move in the direction. Discount for an additional 10%. 5 giveaways. I don't know what else we could do, guys. I don't know what else we could do.
It would be like if you still had your cornrows in.
Yeah, I think that's it. I might have to go back. I might have to go back to the cornrows.
Maybe we both show up in cornrows.
I had them. I did hold on to them. I came back and my wife was like, "What is on your head? Like, what the hell?" But I had them for a couple days.
She wasn't digging it. She wasn't digging it.
She's down for anything. She's
you got the Porsche going on and the cornrows. Dude, I think it was a good look.
Oh man, it's too funny. Too funny.
But, cool. All right, chat. Thanks for having me on, Zach. Appreciate it. You the man. And y'all have an awesome trading week. Peace.
Clay, thanks for coming, man. Talk to you soon.
Adios.
Guys, I appreciate everybody being cool. What a live stream we had so far today, man. Yeah, winning trade, giveaways, discounts. I hope you guys took advantage. That I saw a handful of people in the chat saying different things not working or XYZ. Looked like it was working. I tested it myself. It's 10% additional off of everything, which is already stupidly low priced. I appreciate these guys hopping on. I really appreciate Clay when he comes on and runs giveaways, does the discounts. I think it's epic, man. But yeah, just to review this one real quick. Simple play, man. Simple mean reversion play. Always seem to have a little bit more to grab out of these than I do. But happy to get out of this thing before that pretty gnarly bounce at VWAP. We will see. I'm going to snag a payout in this account since we talked about it 47,000 times on stream. I'm going to snag another payout. You guys could watch on IG if you want or in Discord. I'll post it up. But beautiful short. I'm curious to see if we build a little bit of a base down here and we do start to drift towards the highs today. I don't know that we have the momentum to break out of this zone. This is what I wanted to see. Just us continue to do this choppy back and forth BS and get that move back down to VWAP. So I got my portion of the move for today, and I'm probably not going to be looking for too much else on YM here. Definitely not in the top one live account. Probably get some sim trading in aggressive on NQ on some sim accounts, but can't complain with taking $900 out of the market in a prop live account, snagging a payout, putting money in the bank a couple hours into Monday morning, man. Good way to start the week. So guys, I appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. If you guys are not in the Discord, if you're not in hopped on socials where we're doing even more giveaways like a crazy person on IG, although it seems like I have to chill because IG doesn't like giveaways. Links are in the chat. All links are there. My site is realdealfutures.com. If you're new and today was your first day on stream because we had a ton of people that hopped on, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you. Live, free, every damn day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. No course, no VIP, no paid Discord. My Discord is free 99. Be more than happy to have you guys across socials and everywhere else. Quick disclaimers, guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. I'm just an idiot here from YouTube, yapping for entertainment purposes only. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. If you trade, you're probably going to lose all of your money with props, with live accounts, anything. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer. This is I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top on Futures code RDF, BookBep, and others. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Thanks for being here. I will see you in Discord. I'll see you on socials. I will see you live here tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Have an awesome rest of the day, guys.